Hey everyone, welcome to Modern Health and Wellness Marketing. I know that some of you may already have this book, but I like to deliver it in different ways because obviously people take media in different ways. Some people prefer to read, some people prefer video, some people prefer audio. So we're going to be breaking this up into chapters and just so it's like easily digestible and so that you can get the most out of this content. So I'm here at ground zero of the Thin Pass and Modern Marketing compound. And as you can see, it's very bland behind me. We're setting the studio up, but I didn't want to wait until the whole studio was set up with the screens and everything before we got you this content. Because, what's in this book can really make a difference for you. All right. So without further ado, let's get on with the book. All right, let's hit the introduction. All right, so most likely most of you picked up the book because you're looking to increase your sales, you're looking to increase your leads for your health and wellness center. Whether you're a doctor or a weight loss clinic owner or head of marketing, whatever your position, you're probably ready to scale your business to where you know it should be. All right, you've also most likely tried marketing your business in the past. Whether you hired somebody to do it, hired an expert, right? Or you tried to do it yourself, and it just didn't work. So you're looking for answers and strategies that not only get you leads, but income. And the revenue in your bank account is really what matters, right, at the end of the day. So that's why all of my health and wellness clinics really love me, because anyone can get you leads. I say that all the time. Anyone can get you leads, but I make you money. And there's a big difference, right? As I mentioned in recent years, I've spoken to thousands of health and wellness clinic owners that have either tried to market themselves, they market their business, or they tried to hire a consultant to do it for them. And most of the time they got very disappointing results. So when they attempt to try and market for themselves, the results usually the same. Okay, they spend some money, they get no results, and they say it doesn't work for my type of business. All right, and then they just quit trying. They go back to what wasn't really working for them before, whether it's a billboard or they dabble in some television and radio, or my favorite way not to scale a business is word of mouth and referrals, or they just don't do anything at all and they hope for the best. Okay, so when hiring a marketing expert, the results are usually worse. Okay, that's because the majority of these guys saw a video on YouTube or something like that where they saw somebody run some ads for a local business and they think, hey, I could do the same thing and make some money too. Okay, it's not their profession. Okay, they don't have a company and a reputation built around this. Okay, so not only is the doctor or the clinic owner now out the ad spend, but they had to pay this big retainer to the so-called expert consultant. So on top of it, they've lost all faith in digital marketing, right? Which, by the way, is going nowhere. All right, think about where we are right now. Okay, digital marketing is kind of the lifeblood, or it should be, of your business. Even a decade ago, TiVo came out. What did we do? Boop, we're fast forwarding through commercials. Now there's Hulu without commercials, Netflix without commercials, Amazon. We have all these ways of watching events and television without putting up with the ads. And even if we are watching like football or some kind of sporting event where it's live, or we don't have access to that and we're just watching normal television, what happens? A commercial comes on, bang, you go right to your phone and you're scrolling. Okay, that's when we're hitting you. Okay, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But the problem is that these guys have taken your confidence in how to do it, okay? And the fact that digital marketing is actually the best way to help your business, okay? So anyway, what's interesting is that the failure of these so-called experts in social media, it's led to, understandably, clinic and doctor's owners saying that it doesn't work for them and they don't trust my kind of person. They don't trust my kind, right? The positive side is that this process has started actually weeding out the fly-by-night marketers or those guys that watch the YouTube video and they think, oh, I'm an expert all of a sudden because I watched a video. And the fact is that they make me look really, really good because we we try to blow the doors off of our clients' clinics. All right. And that doesn't come from watching a video. It comes from, spending millions of dollars in ad spend and many, many years dedicated to our craft. And it's not, it's not like we really work with plumbers and architects or something. Health and wellness is really our niche. Now, that said, that's where we've spent all of our money and all of our focus is helping health and wellness clinics. And not to necessarily get into that right now because, well, the beauty of this kind of format is that I get to ad lib a little bit and go outside the box of just basically reading you my book. But not to get outside the box too far, but that's my drive. I want to help as many clinic owners and as many health and wellness professionals as I possibly can. And the reason being is because, look at the health of our nation. Look at the obesity rates. I just saw 2 days ago that the CDC came out and said by 2030 they're expecting 50% of the population to be obese. So I'm like, holy cow, And the way that I can help that is by helping health and wellness professionals get their word out so they can do what they do best, or you can do what you can do best, and that's help other people get healthy. Okay, that's my aside for right now. Okay, but basically this book is designed to show you not only the principles of modern health and wellness, but marketing, but it's also a playbook of actionable items that we use every day to change businesses, to change the lives of clinical owners, from national franchises that we work with to even single door clinics. So just as important now, I want to emphasize what this book is and what it is not. This is not a get-rich-quick guide, okay? It may not necessarily be the doctor or the clinic owner that's going to be doing the work, but someone is going to have to do the work that we outline in this book, okay? It's not hard. It just takes consistent action in what I'm giving you. So I've shared this with people before, and it's funny how some people run with it and they do awesome, okay? While others, they read it and they understand it cerebrally. I mean, they get it, right? But they take no action. And so they die by analysis paralysis. Okay, that's what an old term that in a former life I used to use all the time, right? When we had programmers that would sit there and they would try to make it perfect, and it would just die on the vine because at that point it's just lifeless, the energy is gone, and it's basically flatlined, right? It's perfected to death. So take action. That's the big takeaway here, all right? This book is a playbook for you to make leaps in your business that frankly can shock you. It can shock your spouse, it can change your business, it can change your life, and I'm fully aware that this statement is bold, all right? But I've seen it, and I continue to see it every day with our clients. So there are proven strategies in here that are working with hundreds of clinics right now, right? Even now, while you're reading this introduction, or as it were, I'm reading it to you. So this book is very straightforward. I created it as a tool, a practical and hands-on guide. So do what I tell you to do in it, and it should greatly increase your revenue. It's a tool, okay? As in, lay the book down occasionally at certain points, and you'll find that throughout the chapter that I'm actually telling you how to improve your business, okay? So there's going to be points where you should just lay the book down and go and do it, right? Do whatever it is, because it's not enough for you to understand it in your brain. You have to act on it for it to work, obviously, okay? Doctors and clinic owners that we work with have massive success from the training because they take it and they implement it, all right? And then they move on to the next part and they implement that. In fact, like I say here, one simple strategy that I give you can take you to average, which I even hate saying that word, to more than double what the national average is for like chiros and weight loss clinics, okay? In case you haven't seen any of my previous videos, which yes, they are on YouTube as well, probably right here on this channel where you're watching this, the average chiro makes $72,000 a year. And in one step, I show you how to more than double that, okay? I mean, what would an extra 72K a year bring to you and your family, right? I mean, that's what we have to talk about, and that's what we have to think about, okay? You just need the knowledge that I'm going to share with you and that you get here in this book, all right? The crying shame is that you were not taught these strategies in chiro school or in med school or even business school. I mean, I know I wasn't, okay? These strategies and tools that I'm going to share with you, they've come from years of working with health and wellness marketing, professionals, and being and living this space, right? As well as spending millions of dollars in advertising for clinics and doctors. Okay, that's how we've perfected it. Okay, you're getting the benefit of all of this experience, all of this money spent, and if you use it properly, you can literally scale your business quickly. I mean, shockingly fast, okay? And you should be doing this so that you are crushing your competitors, because frankly, they don't know what you're going to know at the end of this book, okay? Modern health and wellness marketing will help ensure your success no matter how you feel about technology, how you feel about social media, marketing, or whether you never even think about it at all, right? Because it's not really luck that builds your business, okay? It's taking these steps. And who was it? Robbins that said, success leads a trail, okay? So follow the steps that others have gone before you, and they've paved the way. And they're saying, look, this is what works for me. So that's what I'm saying to you, is this is what works for us. It works for hundreds of clients of ours across the country and Canada. So use it as if your clinic depends on it, because your competitors just may have a copy of this too, okay? They may be watching the videos and implementing it, or they may even hired us to come into their clinic and give them consultation and set their systems up, set their processes up, and they could be down the street from you. All right, so use this book, change your practice into what you know it can be. And when you do, you're going to be running at levels you never thought possible, man. I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to share with you some stories in this thing that didn't even make it in the book, but has changed lives. And it's not necessarily because of me. It's because they take the principles that I share and they run with it, right? And then we back them up. Okay, so I'm excited to be on this journey with you, and I look forward to hearing about all your successes. Chapter 1, setting your goals and targets. All right, so for far too long, man, I set goals that were vague and I didn't put a hard date on them. It's this vagueness that allowed cracks in my focus and in my resolve in achieving them. The best comparison I have of this is like a cruise ship. All right, when a ship leaves port, it knows exactly where it's going and it's charted every nautical mile. All right, that's so it can reach a specific port or destination. All right, so what if they left port and they said, some general area that they were looking at going, or that they were aiming for. Let's go to Spain. All right. Well, there's a lot of ocean between New York, for instance, or Miami and Spain. All right. They could get taken by currents. They could end up on the African coast, or bypass it altogether and end up in the Mediterranean. Right. So it's like Napoleon Hill said, just saying, I want more money isn't enough. You need to be specific in the amount that you're going to try to achieve, and additionally, the time frame of which you're going to try to achieve it. Okay, so I am using money in this example because this book is specifically written to help grow your business, whether it's a weight loss clinic, whether it's a chiro, whatever it is, a health and wellness. Then that's why this is kind of geared that way, right? But you have to, and you can have goals that are outside of financial, of course. And I recommend, obviously, that you do. It might include spiritual goals, family goals, health goals, or anything related to any aspect of your life. Okay. But before we get into the specific goal creation and into the numbers and all that, I want to just kind of hang out here for a second, because most people, when we speak about building their business and all that, it's because they want fewer problems. But for me, from my perspective, that's really not an option. Okay, because the human condition requires that we have problems. Okay, we're under the presumption that we're all human, obviously reading this book, so you're going to have problems. The key isn't to eliminate problems. The goal should be to get better problems. Okay, let me give you an example before we go on. All right, I had a client that was looking to scale her clinic. All right, she's a chiropractor, but she also did weight loss. And that was a big component that she was trying to build in her practice. We'll call her Dr. Z for right now. But she was looking to transition the majority of her business from chiros to weight loss. Okay? But she'd been struggling to grow it. So, she was split focus and all that. So anyway, she reached out to us, and we worked together and came up with a game plan. Okay, a marketing strategy specific for her weight loss business objectives. Okay, and we were very blessed and very fortunate because it blew up, man. It went gangbusters for her to the point that I was getting the calls that I love to get, by the way. Right? I love these calls that says, Vernon, man, what is going on? I'm getting crushed. Okay, can we please slow down the number of people that are coming in my door? I can't handle them. All right, those are the calls I love to get, and frankly, they come in quite often, which I'm very thankful for. All right, it's certainly not the first time I've received that call, but what I want you to take away from this is that she leveled up her problem. Okay, Doc Z went from having no clients in her weight loss program to asking me to slow it down because she's getting crushed and she has too many. And that was the 4th week that we worked together. That's pretty awesome. All right. Not to brag on my team, but they're pretty awesome. Okay. So we did our job. We solved her first problem, and she needed weight loss clinics. So we overbooked her office every single day. Problem 1 solved. Okay. But now she has a new problem, right? So flashback, we're not trying to eliminate problems. We're trying to get better problems. So now we have a new problem to figure out, okay? So she decided that instead of being open 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? She'd be open 12 hours a day from 8 to 8. And then she would open up on Saturdays as well, okay? And she would continue providing the great service to her clients and all that. So all's good, right? As an aside, I talked to a lot of clinic owners, and this one's going to kind of hit a little bit, but a lot of clinic owners are open like 9 to noon and 3 to 5, 4 days a week. Maybe they work Friday. So I'm just saying, give yourself the opportunity for success and be open a few more hours. Okay, that's an aside. All right, so all's good, right? She opened up her business for more hours, and she's doing Saturdays now. And it was a good start and a great immediate fix, like a Band-Aid, okay? But what you have to understand is she uses a laser lipo machine as part of her weight loss program, which many of our clients do and many people do. But now she needed an additional machine because even with the open hours, opened up, the 12 hours a day, she was still double booking, okay? So she rearranged her office and she figured out how to get another machine and get the people in. Now we're moving forward. Now we're cooking, right? Happy. So the money's coming in, the patients are happy, and they were happy for just about a minute. And that's because with the evening and Saturday hours, she now has a part of the market that she never had before. Okay, and those that have office hours like hers, you know, I applaud you. Okay. Because now you're reaching a market that isn't available 9 to 5. Does that make sense? I mean, people work, right? So if you don't have later hours, then at least give them a Saturday option so that you can get that customer, okay, or that client in. So anyway, that's an aside. So all these new clients, they're wanting the service, they're blowing her up, right? The new problem is that there's just not enough room for all the cars in her small parking lot. Bigger problems, better problems. So they're parking on the street, they're parking down the street, they're parking at McDonald's, they're parking everywhere they can. And she calls me back up and she's like, man, Vernon, this is crazy. Okay? I was like, all right, doc, let's figure it out. All right? So she says, I saw another building available and I think it's time for a second location. 4 months into working together. Love that. 4 months from I can't get any clients to holy cow, I need a second location. I love what I do for people. I'm just saying. All right. Change lives, change businesses, help more people. That's what I love. So she signs a lease on her second location, so now she has a second office, she has more machines, more parking. Hello. And now what? More staff. Everything's peachy. Perfect. Her revenue is going through the roof. She's fully booked in 2 locations, 6 days a week, and has a full staff there to support her and her business. Right? Nope. Remember, you're not going to grow your business and get rid of your problems, right? You're just leveling up your problems. So basically, Dogsy had to have a little shakeup, let's call it, in her staff and find more of the right people to support her citywide domination. And it was one of the largest cities. It is one of the largest cities in America. And she was killing it. She was dominating everyone in her space. And still is, actually, with our help. I kind of say that tongue in cheek because I don't like to brag on me. I like to brag on our staff. But our staff is great, and we love to help people grow. So now the right people are in place, right? Her processes are in place, which is a big deal. And she just closed her 3rd location, and that's all within 8 months of working together. All right. So what happened was she didn't shrink back when she got hit with an obstacle. And granted, a lot of people would think, well, who would, right? Her first obstacle was people trying to throw money at her, right? But still, you know what I'm saying, right? It was an obstacle. So what happened? She ran into the fire, right? Knowing that her business was growing and that with each new problem, there was a new opportunity for growth, okay? If you stay back in your comfort zone, you're never going to be able to grow. So don't hide from it, okay? Don't retreat. Don't shrink away from problems. Don't stay stagnant so you have less problems, because you have one of 2 problems. It's either I'm growing and I need to, I have problems related to my growth, or I have problems related to my business dying, okay? So run hard, run fast into the fire and into beggar. So run hard and run fast into the fire into better and bigger problems. All right. So now let's get back to the numbers. Okay. And back to our goals. So what goal did you set for yourself? This is really timely. What goal did you set for yourself last January? Right? Or December, if you are, a little more like me and you're like, wow, I'm so fired up about 2020. I'm going to set them in December. The reason I ask is because most every doctor that I ask and that I speak with on a daily basis, they did what they were supposed to do, right? They bust out a new goal for the new year. Okay, maybe not a lot of thought in it. Probably some random number that they heard somewhere else. I'm going to do $1 million this year, right? Without even actually processing what $1,000,000 is and how it would impact their life and why is that number important, okay? So even if they wrote it down, I asked them what they did with it. Did you put it in a file in your office? Did you write it down and just throw it away? Did you just think about it? When's the last time you looked at it? That's kind of a big deal, okay? Most of the time, if it's written down, it's just chucked in a drawer or just thrown away and never thought about again, okay? So let me ask, what is your goal? And is it a revenue goal or an income goal? And the reason I ask this is because this is very personal to me with what I'm about to share to you, okay, or share with you. All right, so remember that the only thing matters is your income. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And I know that's not, big news or surprising to anyone. It's a tried and true saying, right, amongst everyone that knows anything about, income and revenue and all that. But unfortunately, I wasn't in the known, right? So let me give you an example. In my first year of business, I was told that I needed to set a goal. I was like, all right. They told me to keep it modest and not aim too high so I wouldn't be disappointed. Come on, man. I mean, that's a death spiral. If your goals aren't too high, you're not going to work that hard, okay? So honestly, for me, I've always had a problem with authority and rarely do what I'm told. I was sent home from school time after time, actually, because the teachers would sugarcoat what they called me, and they called me a free spirit, okay? So I got sent home a lot from school because I was a free spirit. And honestly, that served me well over the years, but it's kind of got me in trouble a little bit too. But anyway, they were right, all right? It's something I still battle today, but I love what I do, and I'm honestly able to do what I want when I want. And it's a big deal to me, that freedom. As an aside, most of the time, people don't start a business because they want to be chained to a desk. They want freedom, right? I wanted to start my own business because I wanted to be free, okay? That's why I love my work, all right? I can do it from anywhere in the world. Again, I'm not chained to a desk. If a clinic needs me in Phoenix or Manhattan or Paris, Toronto, London, I can be there without asking permission from somebody or impacting other parts of my business. I can be there to help these clinics that need me. So anyway, they told me to set a goal, and a good goal for my first year of business would be $35,000. I said, okay. So I set it for $104,000. Now, I don't know where that number came from, to be honest with you, but I figured if I made $2,000 a week, that would be pretty cool. Okay, so $104,000. All right, but I had to learn early on that there's a huge difference between what your income is and what your revenue is, okay? So I set my goal, I worked my butt off, I'm getting clients, I'm doing everything I can, everything's going great for my clients, but then things started to shift, sometimes they would drop off and this would happen and that would happen. They'd be with me 3 months and then, then they'd drop out. So it was a cycle of learning. And, as I spent all this money trying to do great for my clients, that I saw this cycle happening of boom, they would fall in, they would, come in, new clients, and then they would drop out the bottom, which I'm sure you can kind of relate to your business as well, because that's a cycle that we see. So the goal was to actually keep the clients in, obviously, and keep it on the rise, right? We're always looking for the hockey stick rise versus reverse. So anyway, long story short, I hit my goal. Woohoo! $106,000 in a year. I did it. But that was revenue, not income. Okay, so I didn't take into account all the ad spend I had to do, the overhead, the rent, the utilities, the payroll, right? Not to mention the taxes. So I figured out the hard way that when you make your goals, you have to make them specific, right? I reached my goal, yay me, just not the goal I thought I was reaching, okay? And to answer your question, I only made $17,000 that year, but I feel okay about it, right? Because I learned a lot about what not to do. Okay, so think about that. What is your income number? What is your income target, your income goal? Because that's what really matters, all right? This number has to mean something to you. Why is it that number? Whatever it is, right? Why that much money, right? It has to be, it has to relate to something of importance to you. If it's for your kids' future, your wife or husband, to invest in your futures for their college, you want a new Maserati or a G-Class, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. It just has to be important to you. Maybe you want a second location for your business, right? Matters not to me, matters a whole lot to you. It has to, okay? So get that number in your head. So I want you to think about this. What would be different for your business if you were to hit that number? What would be different in your personal life? Maybe you could buy your wife or husband the Benz that she always wanted or he always wanted, right? Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's a dream trip to Paris or to Europe for the family, all right? But whatever you do, that goal has to be pertinent and personal to you, okay? So whatever your thoughts on are on what to do with the money, that really doesn't matter at this point. Okay? What matters is pick your number, make it personal, and then let's get into some examples of, the actual math. So anyway, I know many of you have heard me talk about the average chiropractor making $72K a year. That range is actually $72,000 to $110,000. So let's take the median and then let's do some math with it, okay? The reason I like to do the math on 72K is not because it's easy to divide into, right? But because it's about breaking even at the end of the year. 72,000 you may break even, if you're lucky, okay? Depending on part of the country you live in and some other factors. But considering taxes after $72,000 a year after taxes, you're going to bring home $53,000. Most people have a spouse, whether a husband or wife, a couple of kids, maybe 2 or 3, a couple of car payments, right? Your BMW is this, her Mercedes is this. And then you have your mortgage, right? Mortgage in a nice neighborhood, the HOAs. Then the law requires, obviously, that we have to feed our kids a couple times a day. I think that's the minimum. I don't know, right? But anyway, you get the point, right? So did we break even on $53,000 or did we lose money in that year? The point of this is that you have to do the math, okay? And you have to increase your income. That's the only way, right, that we can provide for our futures. Okay, we have to increase our revenue. We have to increase our clinic's income. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, we'll get to that, I promise. But for right now, I want you to focus on getting your goals right, on getting your mind right. That's a huge deal. And reviewing your goals should be done every single day, not thrown in a drawer like we mentioned before. Like Uncle G says, right? Every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep. Right? Don't stuff them in a drawer on January 1st and never look at them again, okay? You need a daily reminder of why we're doing what we're doing, like what your targets are. I mean, why are you seeing one more weight loss clinic even though you're exhausted? Why did I stay open till 8 o'clock tonight? Holy cow. What is the drive? What is the reason? Why do we do what we do? Even though my back hurts, even though I missed dinner tonight, I'm doing it because I'm letting the future pull me ahead. And I do that by looking at my goals every morning and I write them every night. Okay? So keep them in the front of your mind and that will keep you motivated. Chapter 2, Client and Patient Acquisition. All right, this, my friends, is what it's all about. This is where we get into the meat of this is where we get the heart of it, okay? If you've seen at least one of my videos, then you've heard me say the words that income is the most important thing for your business. Yes, we're in the health and wellness industry, and most of us got in this industry to help people, which is amazing, right? And it's fantastic. But the reality is, if you don't run your clinic like a business, then it's going to close. That's the long and the short of it. And then how many people can we really help when we have the doors locked, right? Probably not too many, because they frown upon you running a clinic out of your spare bedroom of your house. Okay. So you may think that you're in the healthcare business, but I have news for you. You're really not. You're in the patient acquisition business. And without new patients, you have no clinic. And then you have no business. Right? Your primary objective has to be income through patient acquisition. All right? There's no other way to thrive. Okay? Does that make sense? I mean, I know it's a bit of a paradigm shift for many of us. And a lot of you are kind of balking right now at what I'm saying, and I totally get it. It sucks, but it's true. Okay? It's kind of one of those things that we know, but we don't really think about it, and we darn sure don't want to say it out loud. Okay. A lot of you are thinking, what if my patients heard that? I know, I totally get it. They're thinking, he's just all about the money. Listen, the worst thing you can do is go out of business and not be able to provide your outstanding service to everyone, right? So we just kind of have to suck it up here and get over ourselves on this one, frankly. And this is a conversation I have all the time with doctors and clinic owners, right? You have to run your business like a business. And we have to put butts in seats in front of your sales team so we can drive that income, okay? So take a second and recover from what I just said, and then we can move on, all right? Take a moment, breathe. I promise it's going to be okay. And will get you well on your way to crushing it. And the way we do that is we have to talk about your offer. Again, many of my videos on YouTube, we talk about the offer because it's so crucial to getting people in the door. Your offer is what we present to the world as an amazing and undeniable invitation to come and experience your outstanding service. Okay? It's also arguably one of the most important pieces in your patient acquisition strategies, okay? This is especially true in the social space. Think about it. Back in the day, like for me, I'm watching television, or at least how we used to watch television, right? I'm watching the A-Team, right? Yes, I'm a 70s child. I'm watching the A-Team. BA whips the van around. He comes in, the door slides open, and out comes Murdoch Face and the Colonel. The bad guys start shooting up the place. Bullets are flying. There's explosions, and out of nowhere, Downey. We're watching a commercial. Downey! Stop static cling and have your clothes smelling fresh. A stinking commercial for fabric softener, no less, right in the middle of all the action. Well, that's kind of what we're doing, okay? We're showing our potential patient a commercial when they were in the middle of watching their drunk Uncle Louie do the worm at your cousin's wedding reception, right? Or they're watching some hilarious cat videos. Well, cats, right? Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? They're in what we call social brain, okay? We're attempting to take them from social brain over here to consumer brain. And after many years and thousands of ads and millions of dollars in ad spend and millions of dollars in revenue, I can tell you that is not an easy feat to take them from social brain to consumer brain. That's kind of the biggest deal of all this. And that's why the offer has to be so on point. We're taking them from a relaxed state of mind. They're enjoying a funny cat video, and then, oh crap, take them from funny cat video or Uncle Louie to, holy cow, I have to get my credit card right now and I have to buy it. We're taking them from relaxed, chill state to I have to have this right now. And that's a heck of a leap, right? And that's why so many people fail when they try to get into online advertising. It isn't just the image that you're showing them or the video, right? Although it's crucial, it's not just that. It's not just the copy, which again is crucial. It has to be something that slaps them around and shakes them out of their chill state, their social state, to make them click through to your landing page, right? And that's the biggest struggle and where most people fail, right? To take them from watching a cat video to I have to get my credit card out and I have to buy this right now because it's such an amazing offer. I don't want to miss out, right? FOMO, right? FOMO, fear of missing out. That's what we're trying to get in there. And we have to get them so that they do it now. They have to have it now, okay? So that's the importance of your offer. That's what your offer has to shake them out of and to get them to your landing page, okay? That's the difference between successful ads and then ads that lose tons of money, right, by the uneducated and the unskilled. And if this is you, don't worry about it, okay? The same way that I wouldn't attempt to adjust someone's neck, I wouldn't try to give them an adjustment, well, because I have an innate fear of paralyzing someone or worse. I wouldn't expect you as a doctor or clinic owner to know how to successfully execute online advertising. You didn't go to school and spend 6 figures for this, right? You spend it on mastering your skill set. And now that said, don't freak out about it, okay? You can do it. It's not rocket science. It's just science, right? Kind of like Michael Scott says, I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. So crafting your offer is where it all begins. And we do that with what you already or most likely and hopefully have in your office, okay? So that's kind of what we're working with. Oftentimes we see stacks that contain tangible and intangible items. As an aside, a stack is kind of like jargon for everything that the potential patient gets with your offer, okay? An example would be Billy Mays, that whole science he made of, but wait, there's more, okay? You get this amazing mop, but not only that, we're gonna double the order. That's right, you get 2 mops. And if you order right now, we'll throw in free shipping. But wait, there's more. The first 15 callers are gonna get this free jug of floor cleaner with their mop, right? That's the stack. So you get the amazing mop, or whatever you're purchasing, right? You get the amazing mop. You get a second mop for free. You get free shipping. And if you order right now, you get free floor cleaner. So the free shipping, if you order now, is urgency, right? And for the first 15 people, it's a sweetener and urgency because only the first 15 people get the free jug of floor cleaner with it, okay? So that's an example of tangible items, right? And one intangible item, arguably, in the free shipping. So for our clinic, our offer stacks, we like to see variety, okay? The key is to keep the COGs, right, the cost of goods. We want to keep the cost of goods low, and we want to get the perceived value high. So tangible items have a higher perceived value than intangible items, okay, which have a lower perceived value. Let me give you an example of this. And some of you might have seen this on our videos on YouTube here. Maybe you're watching this, but subscribe, check them all out. They're lots of fun. But an example of the higher perceived value would be B12 shots. I do a whole video on this because B12 shots are just killing it right now for all our clinics, right? I have a training video on how to leverage B12s where I share how to both leverage them and then put them in the stack so that you get multiple looks and multiple touches with a client, right? Which is basically multiple sales opportunities. So if they don't buy them the first, the second, the third, you get them coming back for like $1 a pop where they're sitting in front of your sales team to upsell them to your $1,800 package from like 90 cents to $1.15, and you can't beat that. I mean, it's crazy town how great this is. So if you aren't offering them as a standalone product, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. There's kind of a little an aside. Take this and run with it, please. B12 shots, okay? They're cheap and people will pay premium for them. We have clinics that just run B12 shots as a standalone product that are making hundreds of dollars on them, and the cost of goods is like 90 cents to $1.15. Crazy, right? But we'll get into that a little bit more in your package offerings and all that stuff a little later here. But right now, take that as an aside. So let's say you don't offer the B12s. Okay, that's cool, right? There's B12 sprays, right? Little sprays for your mouth. You can get that. But it's just the tip of the iceberg. I just want to get your mind working on how these offers are going to be working for you and how you can really, really leverage them into, into getting people in the door and how to get them buying, basically, okay? And multiple looks with your sales team. Okay, anyway, maybe you're a chiro and you offer an adjustment, a spine assessment. You get x-rays. Great tool for an upsell, by the way, right? Maybe they get a 30-minute massage, okay? Maybe they get a weight loss jump start, a lower back pain stretching regiment, okay? A medical sauna session, the vibration machine. And these are just a couple, man. I just want to get your brain working so that you really can start formulating your offer that you can reach potential clients with, okay? The key is that you leverage what you already do in-house. And ideally, it has a lower cost of goods, like the vibration machine. I mean, it's a low-cost machine to buy, has a higher perceived value, and once you buy it, then you're not really out anything except for the electricity to cost to run it. So the cost of goods on that is awesome, okay? And again, every time they come back in for this really low cost, your sales team gets another shot at pitching them for your $1,800 package, which is awesome. Okay, so these items that I just mentioned are just suggestions and things that work for us, but they are your amazing mop, right? That they really want and they need. And then once we hook them with the mop, we sweeten the deal and drive them to the point so that it is a no-brainer. Remember, we're trying to get them from consumer brain over to, or from social brain over to consumer brain, all right? So that's where the intangibles start to come in. Right? These are things that you probably are already doing anyway. It could be your free consultation, right? It could be your free assessments, your free weight loss kickstart PDFs. All that stuff is kind of the add-ons, and this is where the stack begins. So an example could be, come in and get your 4 B12 shots. Okay? That's what they're purchasing, right? 4 B12 shots. You get all the energy, you get this and that, and I right, look at check out the other video. I do a full breakdown on the B12s, but that's what they're purchasing. And then your stack could be free weight loss consultation as a bonus 1. Bonus 2, you get a free body assessment, right? Maybe 3 is a nutrition consultation, right? Which is your and more. Does that make sense? Like, we hook them with the B12s at a crazy price because our cost of goods is so low. And then we make it irresistible with the fluff. That's all the stuff that is in the stack. So take a moment. I want you to think about what you already offer in your practice. Maybe you could leverage these new things, and write out what your offer is and what it could be. Okay? Does that make sense? Let's at least get a start on that. And we should do this right now. Okay? Pause the video. Don't go on to the next one. Like, really focus in on getting your offer together, because that is what is going to be the kickstart for your business. All right? And then once we have our offer, then we're going to talk about what to do with it. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Chapter 3. As Uncle G would say, who's got my money? All right. Basically, this is the science of getting leads. All right. So let me get this out of the way right now. Facebook does work for your business. But my business, nope. It works for all businesses. But I tried, nope. You're just bad at it. It totally works. Well, my admin assistant said, nope, she's wrong. It totally works. Okay. Facebook ads, frankly, even in the post-Zuckerberg Senate hearings, are better than anything else that you can promote on right now. Okay. Yes, before all the Russian collusion, election nonsense, Facebook was crazy awesome, right? Afterward, it's still pretty awesome. Okay. So take advantage of it right now because, they're being attacked every day. So there's going to be further and further lockdowns on targeting and audience selection in the future. So please act now. Get on Facebook marketing. All right. And here I'm going to show you how. All right. So this is the basic sales process that we take potential clients through. All right. I know you can't see this right now, but basically we take them from Facebook ad to a landing page, to an order form, to an upsell to, and then a confirmation page. So some of this may be like jargon to you. You don't know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's break it down a little bit. The Facebook ad is this. This is what breaks them out of social brain to consumer brain, like we talked about in the last chapter. Okay. This is what drives traffic to your landing page. All right. Your landing page. This is obviously where all that traffic that's looking to take advantage of your amazing offer, that's where they go. It's a landing page. That's where they land. So here's where we give them more details about your offer, about your clinic. And here's where we really sell them. Okay. On what a great deal it is and why they have to do it now. Okay. Maybe there's only 7 left. I don't know. Right. That's scarcity. That's what we're talking about. Okay. And then the order form is the next page. This is where we reiterate everything that they get. Okay. The first session plus all the bonuses, right? And then we collect. Okay. We collect their pertinent information for the sale, like their name, their email address, their phone number, and of course their credit card information. The pre-sale is where it's all about, right? That's everything. Okay. If you're having issues with your staff is trying to track down leads and nobody shows up and your show rate's terrible, prepaid is the way to go. And we show you how to do that for ThinPass. And obviously ThinPass is our free platform. So that's what, we figured out and we deciphered on getting people to show up for your sales team. So anyway, if we didn't get the personal information on the landing page, which we'll discuss in a little bit, on the benefits of collecting that on the information page, the landing page. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But if we don't get that there, this is where we collect it. Okay? And then once they purchase, we send them to an upsell page. And this is where we sell them the exact same thing as we did in the initial offer. We just sell them more of it. And I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I can tell you from hundreds of thousands of dollars that we generate for our clients, just in upsells, by the way, that this works. How? Well, think about it this way. If one is good, 5 more is better, right? We sell them one session. We sell them one session with all the bonuses. Normally it's $1,000. We sell it for $99. We give them a 90% discount. And then we offer them 5 more sessions, a $5,000 offer, a $5,000 value for $499. Well, the consumer mentality is if one is good, then 6 more is better, which leads us into upsell 2, right? If 6 is good, then 12 must be crazy amazing. All right. And I don't want to get too salesy here or any of that, but that's the mentality and that's the flow that we take them through. If 6 is good, then 12 must be amazing. So yes, we upsell them more of the same thing. We sell them 6 more sessions, which is normally $6,000, right? And we give it to them for a 90% discount, which is $599. Okay. So they're getting $12,000 worth of value and product and sessions for $1,200. I mean, these are just examples, of course, like, the numbers and all that. People have different valuations for their pricing, but the point of this is the psychology of the upsell. Okay. And then we take them to the confirmation page. This is where we give them the information about the clinic, like our address, our phone number, how they can schedule their appointment and all that. So at this point, we call them to schedule their appointment if they don't call us first, which is what we prefer. And then we get them scheduled. So we talk about this more a little bit in a later chapter. I want to give you the scripts that you actually need to use to get people in your door, which if we're pre-selling is the barrier of entry is much, much lower, right? Because if somebody pays for something, they're going to want to come into the clinic to collect it, right? So anyway, we'll get into the scripts and whether it's a phone script, a text script, an email script. We'll get into that in later chapters. But right now, I just want you to focus on that, right? getting the appointment. And then we put them into our drip email campaign. Now, the drip campaign is, what keeps us at the front of their minds. Okay, we utilize the jab, jab, cross technique. You probably heard me talk about that. It's also known as the 80-20 email campaign rule. Again, we dive into that a little bit later in the chapter, but that I'm going to share with you the scripts that we use, right? Because we want to stay at the front of the mind. We want to set them up for another sale. Okay, so at this point, you should have already crafted your offer, and if not, please stop right here and go knock that out. Like, whatever you're already offering, go back and review that chapter if you have to, but get your offer together. Do it right now, okay? And then secondly, you're gonna need to attach your personal account to your business manager and create some ad accounts, okay? And then we can move forward and I can show you exactly how to craft everything and get everything ready to get your sales going, all right? That might have been a little too much. All right. So if you're going cross-eyed right now and you're like, what? Right. Not sure what the heck I'm talking about, then reach out to me. Okay. We have an amazing program that breaks everything down for you, obviously. And we have, our staff will take care of everything for you for free on our ThinPass platform. We just want to make it easy and fast as possible for you. In fact, most docs and clinic owners, they don't want to fool with this. Okay. So they have their admin assistant go through it or the receptionist, they go through the videos. And that's what we put out there, right? Because a lot of times they don't have the money to spend $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000 for us to do it for them, okay? So they simply add the responsibility onto one of their current employees, right? And that saves them quite a bit per month. And if that's not an option, then they join our ThinPass platform where we do everything for free anyway, and we just take care of you. Okay? So anyway, get everything set up and make sure that you have your offer in place. Okay? And then we'll get right into how to craft your ad. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so now you're all set up, you have your offer in place, and you're ready to roll, right? You're set up, let's create our first ad, right? Not quite yet. Okay, so where we're gonna be sending all of this traffic, right? Where are we gonna send all that? That's our landing page, and that's where it comes in, okay? So at this point, you may be like most docs and clinic owners that I talk to every day, and they start thinking about, oh, what about the art? What about the copy? What do I say? What do I do? Well, the cool part is you don't really have to worry about that because as a bonus, I'm actually giving you our proven landing page that's generated literally millions of dollars. Okay? You'll find it at the end of the book. Just click on it. You'll set up your ClickFunnels account. But this sales funnel, right, has generated millions of dollars. And as part of, taking care of it and getting in and reading this book, I'm giving it to you for free. So anyway, that's an aside. Plus you get all the back end, of course, you get the order pages that I talked about, the upsell pages. And again, it's free. So you can start generating income and revenue for your business right off the bat. So now let's say we're ready to create our ad. All right, let's talk about the copy. Copywriting is a gift. It is a talent. And that is why I have some of the best in the world on my team, because I'm not that guy, okay? Images are great and they're very important in social media advertising, but it's the copy that gets the click, okay? The way that the social mind works is that they see an ad and then this is how it works. They look at the picture, which is why the image is important. Then they look at the headline, which is copy, and then they start reading the body of the text, which again is the copy, okay? So now that I just shattered that glass for you, you're gonna start noticing it. Like when you're going through Facebook, you're going to be like, image, headline, copy. Oh crap, I'm following the pattern. Oh no, right? But it's human nature, okay? So when you go through that feed the next time, note if you do follow the pattern. Some of you will and some of you won't now that I pointed it out and you're in the know, but that's the pattern that people follow. So not knowing that, in knowing that, we can begin to design our ad for our target audience. And then the target audience, at this point, you probably already know your target audience, okay? Who comes into your practice? Who comes into your clinic every day? Like, who are your clients? Is it men? Is it women? Are they in their 20s, 30s? Maybe their 40s or 50s. If your answer to this is everyone is my audience, then you have a little bit of work to do, okay? Because everyone is not your audience. They're not your target, all right? If you're in weight loss, I'm going to help you out. Your audience skews toward women 26 to 50, okay? Probably 75 to 80%, okay? If you're a chiro, then you usually skew toward men 30s to 50s, okay? So your goal in audience targeting is to use an image that speaks to the heart of your demographic, okay? If I'm running a weight loss ad, then, I'm probably running with an image of a woman or of women, because obviously that's who's most likely to buy my services, okay? That's not to say that I don't have men come in, but for targeting of my ad, I'm playing the numbers, okay? It's all a numbers game. So the goal is I want to put $1 into social media and have a $20 bill come out, right? Show me a slot machine that does that. I'll be there all day and all night, right? So play the numbers and skew your ads and skew everything in your favor, okay? By hitting your target audience. All right, so back to the image. Select something organic. By organic, I mean take a picture of your team in front of your building. Take a picture of a happy client. The point is to take the picture yourself whenever possible. Don't use stock images. Facebook was created, remember this, Facebook was created as a social platform, and so it rewards you for treating it as such. So if you're using a stock image, well, then Facebook knows that, okay? And they could limit or throttle the number of times that it's shown to an audience, okay? So the image needs to speak to your audience and be relatable to them, right? For me, I'm targeting women in my 50s. I'm not putting up a picture of a 20-year-old in a bikini, right? That doesn't make sense. It's not relatable to a 50-something-year-old woman. So now that said, depending on what I'm selling, maybe the same image of a 20-year-old bikini-clad girl works. I don't know. It's all relevant to what we're selling and who we're selling to, okay? But the takeaway is that it has to be relatable, okay? So take a step back from the digital world for a second, and let's get back to my roots. Television, print media, all right? Even today, they're following the same concepts of audience relation. Think about a Viagra commercial. Sorry if that offends you, but think about a Viagra commercial for a second. Are they showing a 20-some-year-old dude on the beach with six-pack abs? No, of course not. Learn from them, right? They're showing a 50-something-year-old dude smiling with his wife, who, by the way, is also smiling by no accident, and they're both looking very happy. So how many men have we seen in a Midol or a Tampax commercial? None, right? How many women do you see in a Jack Daniels commercial? I could go on and on, but you totally get it, right? Use an image that's going to speak to your target audience. Okay, let's talk about the headline. As we mentioned earlier, the headline is the second thing people see in your ad. Okay, that's what's going to elicit a response. So we can do this in several ways. We can state the urgency, or we can state a discounted price, or we can do both, right? So there are words and phrases that we use to highlight the different aspects of the ad and create the need to click now. Remember that urgency, okay? In a headline, we usually use a combination of price and urgency. So get your blank package for just blank today, right? So get your weight loss package for only $30 today, or whatever it is. Our blank package is just blank dollars this week. We have blank packages left, so for just blank dollars, so get yours today, okay? So think about that, grab those things that I just said, and then change them up a little bit, okay? Make them your own, make them relatable to you, to your audience, whether it's price or whether it's the urgency. Make that something that relates to your audience, okay? These are very high converting, by the way, because we stress the price at a massive discount and we only have X amount left, right? So there is your urgency, right? So there's only X days left, or today only. So the takeaway is speak to your audience for your headline, okay? Highlight the most important part of it, of your offer, and then stress the price reduction and then stress the scarcity. Or if you're good, do both. Use those examples above. Okay, let's talk about the copy. The copy, this is the meat of the ad. The meat of the ad is the copy, okay? The copy is where we actually get to open up a little bit and we tell the potential client about all the great things that come with the offer. So the first part is to address who we're speaking to. Miami ladies, Boston men. Who are you talking to, right? This is your target audience along with the geolocation of your brick and mortar, okay, of your clinic. So that way they say, hey, wait, this is for me. They just trigger, right? And it further gets their attention. And then we can go a few different routes. All right, let me give you option one. Option one, we tell them exactly what the special is, and it's a very direct pitch because we want them to click the button, okay? It has to be short, and it has to be right to the point because think about the attention span of most people right now, right? Earlier, we talked about taking them from social brain to consumer brain, right? And that's the easiest way to. Today, we are offering 25 of our $379 package for just $129. So we hit a few points here. Like for scarcity, we only have 25 for this amazing price. This will trigger the fear of missing out, the FOMO response, right? Of getting them into consumer brain. Option two is long form. Now, long form is a little different. It's old school, it's tried and true, and it works, man. Long form copy is basically where we do one of several things. We tell them a story. We relate to them and what they're going through. We take them on a journey. As an example, I was 240 pounds. I was miserable. I couldn't even make it upstairs or across the yard without losing my breath. And then I found Dr. X and he changed everything, right? Now, obviously this is a very truncated version of that, but you get what I'm going for, right? We tell them a story and we relate to what your target audience and your target market is going through, and we hit their pain points, okay? We show them how to get from where they are, which is miserable, to where they want to be, which is awesome, okay? I had lower back pain for years. It hurt to get out of bed. I needed help getting up off the couch, and I couldn't even play with my grandkids when they came over anymore. Then I met Dr. X, and now I can, you get the idea, right? So take them from where they are to where they want to be. We take them on that journey. This is huge. I mean, I've used both to massive success for clients and our own clinics and driving tens of thousands of new patients and clients, and obviously millions of dollars in revenue to our clinics and our clients, and that's what it is. You have to find that balance, and we'll test, but do both, right? Bang, hit them over the head with it. It's a $379 package for $129. This is all you get. Click here now. Or take them on that journey and tell them a story. But basically, the more engagement you have, whether it's likes or shares, then the more people are going to see the content of your ad, okay? So some people have the idea that, these are vanity metrics and all that, but that's not really the case because with Facebook, that's all part of the algorithm, right? That drives views, and then ultimately that's what drives your sales and your clicks, okay? So review this if you need to, take notes on it, review the notes, and then start formulating your copy based on this. And again, if you need any help, we're happy to do it. We do it every day for hundreds of clients. So hit us up if you need anything. You can find my email at the end of this, by the way. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Chapter 4, Making Contact. All right, some of you have heard the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up. And we found that that is certainly true. As important as the front end of the sales process is, getting them in the door, we've also found that the back end process is just as important, if not more. So let's talk about the biggest pain point for clinics, and that is the no-show. It's so incredibly frustrating because of all the time and energy that we put into getting our ads together, our marketing, the contact, the time that our staff reaches out to them and follows up, and then the scheduling. And then on top of it, we fill up our schedule with people that don't actually show up. And so those could be appointments that people that would show up. So it's incredibly frustrating. So let's talk about the sequence, okay? So first off, let's talk about when we're not speaking to them live, okay? And we're attempting to schedule them. All right, so day one, the contact comes in. First thing we do is we call them, we email them, and then we text them, okay? Day two, we call them and we text them. Day three, we call them, we email, and we text them again. All right, and then once you get them scheduled, because that sequence is very important because people respond differently, whether it's the text or whether it's the email or the call. And if we do that for 3 days, then we're going to hit them on one of those fronts. Okay. So once we get them scheduled, we want to call them the day before their scheduled appointment and send them a text as well, so that we remind them to come in. Okay. And then this is kind of outside the box, and you're not really going to get this anywhere else. But this is one of our secret squirrel ninja tactics that works incredibly well for getting people to show up to their appointments. And all we do is we pop out our iPhones and we shoot them a quick video. We call them by name. Hey, Jan, how you doing? Great. And we're so excited to see you. We're looking forward to your appointment at 4 o'clock this afternoon, or whatever it is. But that little video, we text that to them. And that makes all the difference in the world because it's personal. We're taking the time to do it. It's a video, so they're most likely to watch it, right? So that's an aside that is a little gift for you. Use it. It works, okay? So now each of these days have their own script, right? We talk about day 1, 2, and 3. So it's not saying the exact same thing over and over and over, right? So you have to switch it up just a little bit and get them excited about scheduling, okay? And more importantly, coming in. So you have to remember to be enthusiastic in your communications, not just on the phone call, but on the text or on the video or whatever, right? So immediately upon hanging up the phone on your first contact, you got to put them into your CRM. Now there's several great So CRM just is a customer relationship management tool, okay? CRM, and it does everything for you pretty much, okay? So we send them a welcome email, an appointment email, and a thanks for being you email, whatever it is, just to reach out and talk to them again, right? So we reach out to them immediately. We let them know that you appreciate them and how excited we are about their appointment, okay? Does it seem like a lot of work? Yeah, it seems like a pain in the butt, right? But remember that the CRM tool, that's going to automate the majority of this for you. So it's not that big a deal, okay? So you get all the benefits without the hassle, which is win-win, okay? So now should they not answer when you call and you leave a message, it's crucial that you both email them and let them know that you tried to call them, you left a message, right? Because our appointments are filling up really fast, right? And we want you to get in, and then you text them. Does it seem like overkill? Well, to some people, yes. And that's the difference between your average clinic and a 6- and 7-figure clinic, okay? I don't want to bother them too much. I don't want them to get annoyed because then they won't come back. These are totally excuses, guys, mainly because you just don't want to have to do it, right? If we're being completely honest with ourselves, right? I'm telling you this because it's based on the numbers and the successes of our clients and our own personal businesses, okay? You have to follow up and you have to hammer them over and over and over with text, email, and phone, okay? That's the difference between average and successful businesses. Now let me talk about text real quick because the percentage of text versus emails that are actually read is staggering, right? I'm so crazy about this whole thing personally that I cannot have any unopened text in my phone or on my Mac, okay? I have literally thousands of unopened emails. I get hundreds of emails a day that just go unread, okay? But if my text notification goes off, I have to pick it up immediately, and maybe you do too. I mean, that's just kind of our human nature. I don't know why, but we're kind of built that way. It seems more immediate, I guess. Okay, so what does that tell us? It tells us the importance of texting our potential clients, right? So do it and give them a reason to call you back, all right? We have to have that sense of urgency. So now take a second and think about your process. Are you currently doing these things on every call, on every lead, on every email, every potential client? I'm telling you right now that if you implement these processes, your no-shows will decrease dramatically, which does what? Increase your income dramatically. All right, so let's talk about the follow-up content. Okay, so we have a lead, woohoo, right? They bid on our amazing offer and they gave us their contact information. It's kind of like the dog that chases the mail truck day after day after day after day, and then finally they catch it. They're like, yeah, I got it. Now what do I do with it, right? So you got your lead, awesome. Someone if someone is actually at least interested in what you have to say or your offer, okay? They're not a purchaser yet, okay? They just raised their hand. I'm interested, okay? I like that. That at least gives us a shot to sell them. Okay, it gives us the opportunity, and that's what we're looking at right now. Is we want the opportunity. So, what's the difference between marketing and branding and sales? Well, a good rule of thumb is that if your mouth is moving, you're selling. Does that make sense? Right? We have them in a very precarious position here because they raised their hand and they said, "Yes, I'm interested." That's a great start, right? But if you come on too strong, boom, they bail. Right? They're gone. So think about it. Like when you met your spouse for the first time, did you propose marriage? No, of course not. You probably didn't even ask them out on a date, right? Some of you maybe, but most of us, nah, we're a little too shy. What did you do? You chatted them up a little bit, maybe flirted a little bit. But if you come on too strong, what happens? They're gone, right? So let's talk about potential client-patient foreplay, if you will. All right. So what happens when you get your lead? What do you do now? Do you send them an email? Maybe you have someone call them. Let me ask you this. Does your email sound like this? Hi, blank. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining the list. I'm so excited that you're here. Now is the perfect time because we're having a summer special where you get our $1,200 package for just $5.99. Click here if you'd like one of the remaining packages. Thanks, and we'll see you soon. Dr. Average No Sale. Okay, so do me a favor and go to your email sequence right now, if you have one, right? If you don't have one, then that's probably better if it sounds anything like that. Don't send out things like that, okay? For those of you with an email sequence, what does that look like, man? Does it look anything like that? If so, you're probably losing a lot of sales, okay? And if you're saying, hey, that's exactly what I sound like, and it's not that bad, well, you're probably missing a lot of sales, okay? And if you are getting sales from it, you're not getting as many as you should have, all right? So you may have gotten someone that's really desperate that it actually worked, but it didn't work because you have great copy, and that's what we're trying to formulate here. So let's fix that little script that we use, and I'm going to take it into the dating realm because we kind of alluded to that before. So let's talk about this. All right. So hi, Susie. Great to meet you earlier. You just met this girl, right? She's the girl of your dreams. Hi, Susie. Great to meet you earlier. I'm so excited you answered your phone right now. I wanted to ask you out before you forgot about me, and you met someone else that's probably much better for you and probably better looking and probably has more money. All right. So would you like to go out tomorrow night? I have to work at the Burger Shack over the weekend, but I'm off tomorrow. Can we go out tomorrow? Let's go out tomorrow. Please? That's when you hit the click, right? Hello, Susie? It's just kind of sad, man. So we need to work on your game a little bit. And I hate to say it like that, but that's kind of the way it is, right? We have to work on your outreach to your potential clients. So that's why we want to work on this communication. Okay, what do we do? All right, we have to get them in the door. We have to put their butts in the chair in front of our sales team so we can use our scripts. All right, and I'm going to share with you now these scripts for our phone communications and all that stuff that has really, it's generated millions of dollars. And I'm going to share them with you because I want you to be successful. Okay, so if someone answers live, let's go through that. Hi, Susie. We wait for them to say, hi, who's this? Why are you calling me, right? This is Dave calling from Dr. Javaris's office. How are you doing today? You reached out to us on Facebook with regard to our blank program, whatever it is that you're offering. And I wanted to let you know that we received your application, your request for information, whatever that is. And as you may have noticed, our package includes X, Y, and Z. And our goal for this promotion is to help as many people in the local area as possible to have more energy, teach them to eat healthier, lose weight, and finally get to their targets. Get to their target weight, get to their target size. Again, I'm calling you because I'm calling you back so you can book your appointment. We're booking up so quickly, as you can imagine, I'm sure, right? We only have 4 appointments left for this promotion over the next couple of days. So I want to secure your appointment time before the slots are filled. I have a 6 a.m. appointment today and a 2 p.m. appointment tomorrow. Which one works best for you? And then hopefully they tell you which one. Great, you'll receive an email and a text confirmation with this info, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Our address is blank. If you have any other questions, please just let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you then. Now, does your call script look like this? If not, please stop what you're doing, print this out. I'm going to put it in the notes. You can find it in the book, obviously, but please print this out and post it above your phone, okay? Make sure that the next time you reach out to a lead that you use the proper script. Don't mess around and wait for them, to call you and all that. And please don't mess around and wait for the first time that you have a lead call you to test this out. You got to go through it with your staff, okay? You have to role play. Mess with them. Ask them off the wall questions and make sure that this is part of their being, if you will, and that they are dead to rights, without question, a technician when it comes to the script. And just like that, your business got better. You will increase your showings for your appointments, and you will increase your sales. It has to happen that way, right? So what if they ask a bunch of questions? What if they, they don't like the times that I offer? What if they ask how much the package is, like the Uber? What if the moon crashes into the Arctic Ocean and the whole planet is sent into the sun like a billiard ball or a black hole, right? I mean, whatever the thing is, right? They're going to ask you a bunch of dumb stuff. So the reality is that it's all the same question because they don't know you and they don't trust you at this point. So the questions are kind of irrelevant, right? Go to our sales training and, we'll talk to you about objections and, how to handle all that stuff, how to agree and all that. But for now, just understand that this is why we need to get them in the door, okay? We need to get them in the door so we don't lose them on the phone, because that communication is crucial, okay? We will deal with all the objections and all the questions a little later, but for now, every person in your building needs to know this script and follow it. Don't let them riff on it. This isn't jazz. You're not Miles Davis. Don't improv. Just follow the script because it works. So what if Susie on the phone has a question? Susie patient. She has a question and she needs to know this or that, right? I have a thyroid issue. My doctor said, I tried this diet before. How does laser lipo work? What's red light therapy, right? What is decompression? Will it work for me? Remember, we always agree. That is a great question, Susie. And I know that we've had successes with whatever her situation is in the past, but I want to make sure you get all of the best possible care, right? And all your questions are answered by our medical staff. So what is the best time for you to come in? Remember, they're always right? They're always right. I understand that. And make sure that your phone people understand that as well, right? $37 is a lot for me right now. Yes, ma'am. I mean, it's a lot for all of us right now, right? I mean, what time would you like to come in? I tried Weight Watchers before and it just didn't work. I tried it too and it didn't work for me at all. That's why I became a client here and it changed my life. So what time is a good time for you to come in for your appointment? The goal of the call is to get them in the door, right? They're going to object. They may try to fight it. But the reality is you're the doctor, right? You are the only one that can help them. And you are the only one that can actually improve their life, right? And potentially save their life. So if they don't come in, if your team doesn't get them in, then you're doing a disservice to them and their families, okay? Your job is to help them and to save their life. And this can only happen if they come in your door. Now let's talk about what happens if it goes to voicemail. It's common, right? They don't recognize your number, so they let it go to message. In the next video, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so we called them and they didn't answer their phone. Common enough, right? So let's leave them a message. All right, so we say, hi, Susie, this is Dave calling from Dr. Biamonte's office. You reached out to us on Facebook with regard to our blank program. And I wanted to let you know that we did receive your questionnaire and we received your request for more information. And as I'm sure you noticed, this $89 package includes your X, Y, and Z. Our goal for this promotion is to help as many people in your area as possible, right? We want to teach them to eat healthier. We want to help them to lose weight. And again, I'm calling you back to book your appointment because we're getting booked up incredibly quickly, as I'm sure you can imagine, right? We only have 3 or 4 appointments left for this promotion over the next couple of days. So I want to make sure that you give me a call back today so I can secure your appointment and make sure that you get in before all of our slots are filled. You can reach me directly at your number, and I look forward to speaking with you. Again, my name is Dave, and my number is blah. All right? I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay, so let's talk about the big takeaways for these scripts. Okay, it's very similar actually to our ads. We want a sense of urgency, simplicity, and focus. Okay, because the only thing we care about right now is getting them in the building, to put them in front of our sales team. And the only way that we can change their lives and change their families' lives is to get them in the door, right? So we only have a few appointments left in the next couple of days. I can secure that for you now. That's why we have to get them in the door, okay? A couple of additional call notes. Whoever strikes first wins. Okay? Because don't think that you're the only guy out there or girl out there that are offering these things for them to come in. Again, we could be down the street, like my team could be working with a clinic down the street, and we're teaching them the same processes and the same strategies that are working. So don't think that you're the only game in town. So whoever strikes first wins. Speed to contact is one of the most crucial lessons I learned from all of our service-related businesses. It doesn't matter if it's chiro or weight loss or fitness or fireworks. Whatever happens, you got to be the first to answer back. If you don't answer, your competitors are, right? If you don't call them back within the first few minutes, you've already lost the sale. I know I'm not telling you not to call them back, but what I'm saying is strike first, and strike first. We live in a time of instant gratification, right? I'm sure you're painfully aware of that. I mean, how much does it suck now that Amazon Prime went to 2 days instead of 1 day or next day? Personally, I hate it, right? I will pay more because I want it right now. Kind of at a personal aside, I buy things online all the time, right? I go online, I'm looking for a specific car, and I go to my San Diego dealer, they can't get it. What do? I drive to LA, I pay more so I can get it today. I want it today. I pay more. I deal with LA traffic, which is a nightmare, by the way, which most of you probably know. I pay more, and I have to sit in 3 extra hours of traffic, but guess what? Then I'm sitting in traffic in my blacked out Range Rover, right? With the exact specs that I wanted. But that's because I wanted it today. It's worth it to me to go through a little bit more pain to get it today. So strike first. Your potential clients are used to calls being answered and returned immediately. Okay? If that doesn't happen, the doctor or clinic down the street, they're going to do it, right? They may not have a receptionist there at 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, but they have an answering service, and the answering service knows what their calendar is, and they're going to schedule them. Okay? So or minimally they have the calls forwarded to their assistant and who is answering the phone. Okay, so that's the difference between an average chiro, an average weight loss clinic that's making just enough to get by, or our clients. Okay, they're making 7 figures. So if you aren't answering the phone, someone else is. That's the takeaway, and they're going to take your business. All right. Let me give you another example. Okay. Again, I hate to wait. Okay, I'm crazy. It makes me nuts. Just ask my girl, right? Example is this last Labor Day. I'm out on a morning drive. I go out. It's part of my morning routine. It's where I kind of it's the calm before the storm of each day. Okay, but I came across this property that I was interested in out of the blue. It wasn't planned. But I became crazy focused on this one property because I knew it had the potential to generate a lot of income, and I wanted to know everything about it, and I wanted to know now, right? I had to buy it. So saw the listing, I looked it up, and I called the person, and it was a voicemail. Why? It was Labor Day. Labor Day. Okay? So I figure, okay, fine. What agency? Blah, blah, blah. Got it. I went to the agency website, and there was a list of agents on there that had all their information listed. Okay? So I called the next one on the list. Nada. The next one, nothing. The next one, nothing. I get to phone number 7, and on the list was Trish, who answered the phone. She made $70,000 that day because she answered the phone. All right? That's the state of the world. I got the property, obviously, right? So she made the money when 6 people above her that I tried to give cash to didn't answer the phone. Okay? So that's the state of where we're at and how business is done today. If you don't answer the phone, somebody else will that's going to take your money. Okay? So Labor Day, I don't care. That's why some weight loss clinics and chiros make more money than others. You know, it's sad but true. But 6 other real estate agents were drinking beer and playing in the pool with their kids and their families when Trish answered the phone and made 70 grand for a 10-minute conversation. Okay? Answer the phone, return the call, and do it now. If you wait, they're most likely already gone, man, and they're visiting your competitor down the street. All right? So someone will always get the money, so it should be you. All right, so let's talk about appointments real quick. Make all of your appointments for today or tomorrow, and that will help ensure the highest show rate. People are flakes. Everyone knows it, and getting people in the door is a nightmare, okay? They may have made an appointment, they've scheduled it, they feel real good, but the reality is that they're kind of a pain, and they're always gonna be a flake, okay? So what do we do about that? There's several strategies that we use that really work wonders, okay? But for now, we'll start with the basics. Go back to the script, all right? I have a 10 a.m. appointment today and a 2 p.m. appointment tomorrow. Which one works best for you? We're giving them 2 times, one for today, one for tomorrow, because, we have to get them while they're fired up, right? They're emotional about this. They signed up for your this. They liked your thing for that. They got their credit card out and they prepaid for this. So we want to get them in the door now while they're excited about it. If you wait 3 or 4 days, a week, what happens? People lose their enthusiasm, okay? So that's why the majority of people say that their leads suck. I hate to say it so pointedly, but that's true. There's no such thing as a crappy lead. There's no such thing as a crappy lead. There's only crappy sales teams and crappy processes. If you or your team has ever blamed a lack of sales on the leads, which, come on, I know you have, well, you're lying to yourself, okay? Why do we lie to ourselves? It's because our subconscious, our brains, our conscious mind's job is to protect our ego from the truth that we all kind of suck at something. But guess what? It's true. Okay? This was one of the best things I ever learned and was given to by a mentor. The fact that I suck at some things are okay. I don't always have to be right. I don't always have to be the smartest guy in the room. And then once you get that and you own it, then you can, come to a peace with it. Okay? That's also where you're going to be well on your way to making more money, right? Because you can do something about it. Think about it. I mean, if often we say things like, I already know that, then you're closing down to what could be some good knowledge coming in. And we could learn something from, apply to our business, and make more money. I mean, once we get a few years into the profession, whether it's a chiro practice, weight loss clinic, whatever it is, we subconsciously start to become set in our own ways. So have you ever tried Facebook ads in the past? Did it work? I already know the answer. Right? Because I hear it every single day. Oh, Facebook doesn't work for my kind of practice. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your practice is doing $120,000, right? Your practice down the street working with us is doing $600,000, doing Facebook ads or doing social, like doing these processes. So what I'm trying to help you with is understand that you don't know everything, and that's okay. So let's bring it back around. All right? I know that you already, I know that people are used to getting people in like a week, 2 weeks, setting their appointments like that. So let's talk about that 2 days. Why don't we let them linger for 5 days or maybe into next week? This is cutting out the flakiness options for your clients. And if you can do this, schedule them within a day or two while they're fired up and they're ready to buy. Not only is your show rate going to increase, but your sales rate and your income is going to increase as well. All right? So let's talk about being enthusiastic. And I know, man, I'm guilty of this too. I'm like, enthusiasm. Yeah, I get it, man. I have to be all like blah, 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 and sunshine and rainbows. But this is greatly going to increase your show rate if you or your receptionist or whoever's answering the phone, maybe it's your mom, if you're enthusiastic, okay? And I know you answer the phone all day long, well, hopefully, right? Hopefully you have a bunch of calls coming in, and your enthusiasm can go up and down. It can wane a little bit. I totally get that, especially when our clients are, asking a bunch of dumb questions, frankly, right? But come on, you have to have enthusiasm in your voice. You have to fake it if you don't have it, and be excited because the services that you're offering is going to really impact their lives. It could be a huge difference for them, right? So if you're flat and you're nonchalant, yeah, you're booking them, what's that say about your services? What's that going to do to their enthusiasm about coming in? I mean, let alone buying anything if they do show up. So test your colors. I mean, right? I mean, that was painful for me to get through. Test your colors. Make sure that, that there's enthusiasm injected into it, right? And you're going to see a huge difference. Okay, and while I'm at it, say their name. The one word that humans love to hear more than anything is their own name. So use it. Use it freely. Dave, great to hear. Susie, let me tell you something. I really appreciate you calling me. And let me tell you something. If I can do anything for you for the rest of the day, because I know you're coming in tomorrow morning. Susie, I really, really am looking forward to doing it. Can I send you anything? Can I do anything for you? Okay, great. Use their name because people love to hear it, all right? Use it enthusiastically, right? Get them in the door, get them in front of your sales team, and then we can upsell them on all of our packages. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Chapter 5, they're here. Now what? Dr. Davis, your 10 a.m. is here. Well, sweet Georgia Brown, they showed up. So now we have to talk about your presence and your pitch. Okay, so the pain points. The goal is to have them sell you on why they should be let into your program. And this is way counterintuitive, but it works. Remember, we only have X amount of spots left, so why should we let you in? To do this, we have to make sure that they tell us why they're here, okay? Of course, I'm not talking about because of an appointment at 10 a.m., right? No, why are you really here? We have to ask those tough questions. We have to get them to this point where they talk about their pain points, all right? I feel like I'm going to pass out when I go up the stairs, or I try to play with my kids, or I just want to fit back into my 7 jeans, like whatever that is, whatever the reason, that's what matters. We're looking for them to tell us what their personal pain points are, okay? Answers that don't work or that we can't accept is, I just want to get more information. That doesn't work. Or I wanted to see what it was like. What's the clinic look like? Whatever, right? This is not why they made the appointment, especially with our program that is especially designed to buyers of our larger packages, okay? So those are unacceptable answers. So we need to get their specific reason and their specific answer out of them, right? So that we can use that as fodder for our sales points for the rest of the consultation and the rest of the sales process. Remember, like a hospital, if someone comes in that isn't sick, we can't really help them. So if someone comes in without a problem, we can't help them. So we ask them, what have you done to try and solve your issues in the past? Whatever your problem was, their admitted pain points. What have you done to try to fix this on your own, right? And the fact that is it obviously didn't work, otherwise they wouldn't be sitting in front of you. So as an example, I tried Weight Watchers and it didn't work. I tried fasting, which is, a great trend all of a sudden. I tried this and I tried that and nothing has worked. Oh, I did paleo and it worked for a little while, but then I stopped and I gained all the weight back, and actually I gained even more, right? This is their pain cycle. So let's talk about that right now, their pain cycle. They admitted that they have an issue. They have a pain, right? They have a failure or whatever you want to call it, and they want to make it better. They want to look better. They want to feel better. This is their pain, okay? So what we have to do is we have to kind of poke at it a little. And it sounds bad, I get that. But remember, it's for the ultimate good, because we're looking to increase their health and make them feel better. So it's natural that if we have something that is just annoying, that we'll put off getting it taken care of. We're human, right? I mean, we're human. So if something that needs to be addressed now, then we get it addressed now, right? If there's an incredible pain in my side, I'm going to the doctor. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm going to die. I'm going to the doctor. Whereas if this cut on my finger, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks and it hurts a little bit, but I think I'll be okay, right? What we're looking for is, what is that pain that you have to fix now? You know, another example is if we have a drip in the tub and we hear it, it's kind of annoying, right? We can put off calling the plumber because we can put up with the annoying sound. But if there's a massive leak in the upstairs causing the bathtub to crash into the downstairs, then guess what? We have to fix it now. We're calling that plumber, right? So this is kind of the same thing. We're poking at the issue. We're trying to figure out what is the pain point, and we just kind of like poke at it a little bit, aggravate it, so that they want to fix it now, okay? So the way that we do this is we ask them questions, okay? What else did you do? I tried Weight Watchers and I lost a few pounds. How long did that last? Well, it lasted a month and then I gained it all back. Okay, yeah, we've heard that before for sure. So what else did you try? Well, I tried fasting and that didn't work at all. Yeah, I totally get that, right? Because who wants to starve themselves? So what else did you try? Well, I joined the gym. I didn't know what I was doing, so I got incredibly frustrated, and now I'm still paying for it, but I don't go anymore. Yeah, I totally get that. What else did you do? Exhaust everything that they've done, right? And then we get back in and we poke the wound again, okay? It's, remember, because we're trying to help them. And if they really feel the pain, then they're going to want to do something about it. And if it's just an aggravation, they're probably going to be like, well, you know, it's not going to be a good sell. So you tried this and that, you tried the other thing, you tried everything. You went to meetings, you went to weigh-ins, you counted all these calories, you journaled everything for a year, and you still didn't lose any weight? Wow. Did you lose any inches? And you still couldn't even fit back into your jeans after an entire year? Man, that's got to be incredibly frustrating. So you really want to point out what the actual cost is for them, not dollar-wise, but time, energy, effort, and they still have no results. And then we want to take them to the future, right? We want to future pace them. So this is what we do, right? We talk about doing all that stuff over the last few years that didn't work and they still had no results, right? So that's the real reason they're there, right? We're telling them. They're telling you that they need to do something different because obviously they can't go on that way. Okay? If they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again with no results, then time keeps passing by. Nothing's changing. They're not getting healthier. So we forward pace them with weight gain, with their weight gain and their pain increase, right? So if they tell me, I've gained 25 pounds over the last 3 months, man, if you keep up that pace, you realize that you're going to put on 100 pounds this year. 25 pounds in 3 months? Or my back is hurting so bad that I can hardly play with my kids anymore. I can't get out of the bed. I can't sit at my desk, whatever that is. And we asked them, how long has that been going on? Well, it's been going on for the last few months. Man, if it's gotten that bad in the last few months, what's it going to be like in a year? We are future pacing them into the pain, okay? Because we're trying to help them. All right, so we want to bring them to their own conclusions, all right? So that they understand that they can't continue in the same way that they're going now, and that they have to do something different. And they have to do something different to fix it now. That's where we go into the short pitch. Okay, the short pitch is easy. Okay? It's just that. It's really short. We have to make sure that we keep them in an emotional state, which is what we've been developing over the last few minutes, right? When we're talking to them about, their pain points and this, and that's a very emotional state for people. We want to keep them in the emotional state and keep them out of the logical state. And I know that sounds a little weird, but I have to keep stressing to you that we're not some scammy, sleazy used car sales dude, right? That's trying to take money from old ladies, right? We are helping people change their lives so they can be around for their families for decades more. It's a big difference, man. Okay. So if you're reading this and then, you're someone that's been referred to us, or you found me on social media and believe that I'm the real deal. Okay. I hope that's the case. If you've seen any of my stuff and you already know that I have zero tolerance for any kind of snake oil salesman or any kind of nonsense, then awesome. Because my goal is to help as many health and wellness professionals, help as many people in their communities as possible. Okay? So if you don't have a product or a package that you 100% believe in that works, then please shut this down right now. Turn off my videos. It's not going to be a good fit for us. Okay? Just move on to someone else that can help or not get you to whatever your goal is. Okay? My goal is to help as many people as possible get healthy, change their lives, and be there for their families. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So now let's talk about the fact that so many people purchase in an emotional state because we're emotional beings, right? So we're moving them through that pain cycle that they've been suffering with, and they're continuously suffering with, and they're still in that state. So rarely are purchases made from the logical state, right? That's why we're not talking to them about money or the cost of the program, because that immediately snaps them out and puts them into a logical state. So we tell them about the package, how it works, the benefits of the package, and why it's going to be so amazing and how it's going to work for them so well. So again, the short pitch, then we move on to the honeymoon. The honeymoon is the end results, okay? Now you can play with your kids without being winded and have to sit down after 2 minutes. Now you can fit back into your skinny jeans. You're now healthier, blah, whatever it is, whatever those things are that their pain points were. We lead them to that honeymoon stage. So, whatever is important to them, and again, that you can deliver, this is very important, your program has to be able to deliver, is what we're talking about, all right? So always remember that we're selling the destination and not the travel. It's a big difference. They don't want to hear about the pain that they're going to have to go through to get there, which is the travel. We don't talk about the foods that they're going to have to eat or not get to eat. We're not going to talk about the exercise they're going to have to do, their meal planner. We're not going to talk about the recipes. None of that. That's work. We're not talking about the work to get there. We're talking about the destination, the vacation. So before I go on, let me give you an example. I am a little bit, before the age of orbits or online booking, we had something called a travel agent, which many of you probably fully get. But, I say that to my 20-year-old daughter. She's like, what are you talking about, dude? So anyway, I went on my first trip to Europe and I went to a travel agent. Okay. So back in the day, yes, it was before the interwebs and orbits and all that stuff. So I actually had to walk into a travel agent and book my flight, book my hotel, book my rental car, all that stuff. It was a whole big production, right? Now the travel for my trip to Europe was the worst. It was terrible, but they didn't talk about that at the travel agency, right? The hour that I was in at the travel agency, what did we talk about? Oh, we talked about the Eiffel Tower. We talked about the Louvre. We talked about Jim Morrison's grave, the food, the wine, the French girls. We talked about everything wonderful that's Paris, right? What we did not talk about was the travel, which was awful. I mean, I had to drive from my house to the nearest international airport, which was 3 hours. The plane was delayed for 2 hours. Then I landed in Newark, New Jersey for an 8-hour layover. Never again, by the way, I'm telling you. That 8 hours was like a week of my life. The worst. Then I had a 6-hour bumpy flight across the Atlantic with a 2-hour layover in London. And then I was back on a flight for Paris, or so I thought. But guess what? The airport is like 2 hours outside of the city. So I ended up jumping on a metro to get to center of town. And then there was a public transit strike. So no trains were running. So an additional 2-hour wait, I had to wait for a taxi to take me into town. So you see where all this is going, right? If the travel agent had been talking to me about the trip or the travel, I would have told them to kick rocks, man. I would have never left. I would have never gone over there. But they sold me on the destination. They talked about the beauty of the city, the history, the buildings, the Eiffel Tower, the wine, the girls, everything that I cared about. All that to say is that when people come into your business, sell them on the destination, not the travel to get them there. I mean, we're talking about how are they going to look? How are they going to feel? How are their husbands or wives going to look at them when they fit back into their sexy jeans, right? That's what we're selling them, is the destination, not the pain to get them there, right? That's what we're selling. So they don't want to be reminded of the pain they have to go through. They just want to talk about the honeymoon, all right? So keep that in mind when you're going through your sales process. And I'll see you in the next vid. So listen, guys, I hope that you found these last few moments and these last few videos really informative and that this booklet helped in some way. Take these little nuggets that I've given you and implement them into your business. And I think it's going to be really, really beneficial for you. And I'm really excited to hear about all of your successes. So anyway, maybe it was entertaining at times, maybe it wasn't, but the one thing that matters to me is that even if one script that I gave you or one little nugget of advice was useful, that you take it and you run with it and make a difference in your business. So I'm here for a resource for you, okay? You can email me at vernon@thinpass.com. And yes, that is actually my real email address. Please use it. I'm happy to share with you further information, and I'll even give you, our exact sales funnel that has produced multiple 7 figures for our clinics across the US and Canada. And I'm going to give it to you for free, just for hanging out with me and taking the time, because I know we're all busy, and I hope that it can be very useful for you. All right, so you can also find us on YouTube, which maybe you're watching it here on YouTube. That'd be great. Go ahead and subscribe. I have plenty of videos for you, and we're going to be really increasing those because my goal is to help as many health and wellness professionals as I possibly can over the next 12 months because of the state of our country and the state of our country's health. So the more of you health and wellness professionals that I can help, the more you can help your communities. And so that's my drive. That's my goal, is I really want to be there for you. So hit me up, subscribe to YouTube, find us on Facebook, and all in all, just take action today. Do something for your business, for your family, for yourself. They may seem like small changes at first, these things that I'm suggesting, but for so many of our clients, they are life-changing. And please, let me know about all your successes. What works, what doesn't, if you like me, if you don't, just hit me up and let me help you as much as I possibly can so you can spread your light and really, really help others in your community. All right, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks for taking the time with me, and I will see you soon.